Good afternoon, this is Wayne Blau with another smart profit maximizing moment. I thought I'd do something I haven't done in a while that I used to do. Let me introduce myself. And there's a lot of new people that are in my group, a lot of people who don't know me. My name is, like I said, Wayne Blau. I'm a CPA. Passed the CPA exam way back in the late 70s. So I've been working with small businesses and in business well over 40 years. I started my CPA firm in 1991, actually, my bad. I've taught accounting in community colleges, worked in both public and private. So I was a CFO at a local bottling company, actually a regional bottling company for 6 years. Have my own firm. Well, our firm really does three things. One, we do tax returns. We don't do the H&R Block. We do the more complicated ones. We do tax planning. In the last 4 years, I've saved my clients over $5 million legally. All right. And we help our clients make more money, which is why I do these smart profit maximizing moments, okay? We have a few things. I got the small business. We have our blog, our award-winning blog, actually, Small Business Profit Maximizer, the easiest way to find that. And it's a good idea because I post these videos there, and I usually have an article that I'm going to discuss there also. Easiest way, go to my web, either just search for Wayne Blau blog, or go to my website, wjb-cpa.com, my firm site, and left-hand column, second one from the left, we have our, it says blog. Click on there. Make sure you sign up on our mailing list. Also, just recently, started authored the 90-day profit reset, which I might never know which way to go on this, I'm sorry, which just came out, and right now it's still 99 cents for the Kindle version, though I think you should get the paperback version because there's a ton of information in there. I've had a lot of, more than one of my clients saying, I wish I'd had that when I started. Today, I talked about why businesses fail. What got me thinking about that and how to avoid it? Well, I was reading a Wall Street Journal article, and it was put out on September 26th. It says, and this is the title that's out there, "Is it insane to start a business during coronavirus? Millions of Americans don't think so." And it goes into the fact that Americans are starting businesses at a faster rate than any time in a decade. And truthfully, if you were following me, I did it back when coronavirus was going out back in April, May, March. I predicted this. I mean, I've seen this before. That's one of the advantages of working as long as I have, working with small businesses, is, okay, we've never been hit with coronavirus before. But what we're doing right now is we're starting to see the recession that's after it. And it's not that bad of a recession compared to what I thought it was going to be, because truthfully, the feds have stuck a ton of money into the economy. The PPP loans, the EIDL loans, Main Street loans, the $1,200, or that went to, was it $1,000, $1,200? Depends on who you were. That went to everybody. Put a lot of money out there. But what happens during a recession is very simply one of two things. One, we had almost 700,000 businesses disappear in the first quarter of this year. So that opens up opportunities. So some people are sitting there looking at it going, wow, used to be 20 restaurants, now there's 5 in my neighborhood. Used to be 5 pet groomers and there's only 1, so whatever it is. And secondly is there's really kind of 3 reasons. Second, people are changing the way they're working, more remote working, more want delivery, more PPE stuff needed, all right? I mean, everybody's walking around with masks, so somebody's got to do that, and people are looking for other ways. I got a client who, put $250,000 in their bank account by being able to sell masks when nobody, and other PPP hand stuff when nobody else could get it back in March and April. Now, you got to, if you're in business, you got to move fast. All right. And the third thing is necessity. I mean, you get laid off, your business disappears. Many people, the economy was doing pretty darn good before that, so a lot of people had funds available. They had their 401k they could borrow from. They had savings, whatever. They have credit cards. They had good credit. 80 to 85% of small businesses fund their business with credit cards. All right, so a lot of people are just starting businesses, and amazingly at a rate higher so far than any year since 2007, 2008. What happened back then? Well, we had the banking crisis. Same thing. People were let off and they went, wow, I can do something. This one here, I'm seeing a lot of that. Now, what it got me thinking, and that's why I had the title, Why Businesses Fail. 50% will be gone of these new businesses statistically will be gone in 1 year. All right. 80% will be gone within 5 years. And less than 5% actually survive till the retirement or death of the owner or passing it on. All right. There's a lot of things people do wrong. And there's a study out there, and I'm going to post this on my blog, so the link will be there. And they update this study quite a bit. And it's got a little bit of differences now because of coronavirus, but the main things stay there. And they list the top 20 reasons for startup failures. And really, I'm going to go through these, and we're going to talk about, they really don't have to do it, just startups. When I'm coaching clients, and that's something that keep your eyes open, we got the 90-day profit reset. We're going to start the 90-day profit reset, the 90-day profit reset course, which is going to be an assisted group course with me giving some one-on-one time with everybody to customize it for you in November. I got to get past the tax season time and get all these PPP loan forgivenesses out of the way, and then I'm going to start helping my clients make more money. And it's going to be just for people that are right now it's going to be for my clients and people that follow me, and make sure to keep your eyes open. But what I was looking at is there's really 5 things that cause businesses to fail, and in truth, they're the same 5 things that make any business fail at the end of the day, and truthfully stop you from making money. So number 1, easily the highest one, there just is no market needed for your product, or not enough of a market. 42% of businesses failed because of this. Almost half the business failures were caused because the product simply didn't solve a customer problem. I talk about that in the book. What is your why? Why, out of all the choices out there, should I buy from you? Out of all the choices out there, including just doing nothing or doing it myself, should I buy from you? As simple as that. All right. I'm going to spend a lot of time on that when I'm coaching with people. It's one of the big things we're working on. What is your why? The example I gave in the book is a good one. I had a client who and I'm going to shout out to him, BK Medical. They do a really good job if you need home medical experience merchandise here and in Dallas. They've been around forever. So, when I was coaching with them one time, I opened up various websites of them and their competitors and said, look, do you see any difference? And no, really didn't. And I bet you could do this for yourself. Open your website and look at your marketing and look at all your competitors, and you're going to say the same thing. Theirs did. It was like, best service, lowest price, let me get that out of there. I got to remember to hit it in airplane mode next time so I don't get those. But everything was the same. So if you don't look any different from your competitors, then buyers will do one of 2 things. They'll buy it based on price, or they'll buy it based on convenience. Who's closer? So we had to change. And what we changed is we realized a good chunk of the people that buy home medical equipment are caregivers. So we created the caregiver blog. We created the caregiver corner. We put out more videos for caregivers. So now you open up their website and it says caregiver. And it's important because if I'm a caregiver and I open up theirs and 3 others, and they're the only one that says caregiver, who am I going to click on? Because I've answered the question, why out of all the choices out there should I buy with you? And that's why that's 42% of people went out of business because they didn't have a market, because they're not. And really what that means, they're not solving a customer's needs, okay? Running out of cash was the next one at 29%. A third of businesses simply ran out of cash. That's why chapter 1 in my book, all right, is, and if you look at it, gain your independence from reduced cash flow. And I literally talk about how to find the cash that's hiding in your business. And probably I had a client come in and say the most important thing in this book was the appendix, because I literally give you my coaching checklist, which is a way to find it. So appendix 2, 82 tricks to find and keep cash in your business, right there. I don't know if you can see it, but it's in the book. I have tons of stuff in there. So, there's cash there because running out of cash is vital. And other strategies I have for making sure you don't run out of cash. Notice that may be why you run out of business, but I'm going to tell you simply, what I've seen this year is I've had a lot of businesses survive that initial shock when the economy shut down in March because they had cash reserves. And the ones that struggled or didn't simply didn't have the reserves. So we talk about how to make sure you get your cash, all right? Third reason almost a fourth of the people, they didn't have the right team. All right. Too often, a small business owner can't grow a viable business independently and fails to bring in quality help. Look, there's no excuse for that anymore. All right. It used to be you had to hire employees. I used to have a marketing person on staff. I paid him, $40,000 a year. All right. It's not necessary anymore. I mean, I've hired people to help me with that for a lot less than $40,000 a year, and I don't have to manage it. More importantly, it's their job. That's all they do. I also used to have bookkeeping staff on hand. I'm one of those rare CPAs. I don't do bookkeeping, but I've outsourced to 2 or 3 other bookkeepers. That's what they do. Now, what happens? You got a lot different attitude when you're dealing with a business owner as opposed to an employee. They're going to make sure it gets done right. If I have a problem, I pick up the phone, they take care of it. All right. So putting a team together now doesn't necessarily mean having a team of employees. I'm a small CPA firm. According to the statistics, we got 3.5 employees. But that's not fair because I got, a team of people, a team of other people helping me. All right. And you can do the same thing, but it's important to get the right team. Number 4 is being outcompeted. It's 19%, about 1 out of every 5. You're often told to ignore the competition and just put out good work, but if they have a solution to a customer's problem that is easier to use, or they simply outwork you, they outmarket you, they will become the leader in your niche and you will lose. When you started working, if you set up your business to have more free time, my apologies. When new businesses come into me, the first thing I tell them is congratulations, because having your own business is the quickest way and the best way to become independent, become wealthy, grab your time. But my condolences also, because you don't know what you don't know. And these are the things I'm talking about. You can't be outcompeted. You need to work. It's going to be work. You know that. You're in business. All right. Number 5, believe it or not, is pricing and cost issues were listed by 18%. Many businesses have trouble determining what to charge and what price model to use. They often build a product or service and say, this is what I need in order to make money. This approach ignores the customer. What is the customer willing and able to pay to solve their problem? Only after you discover that information can you determine if you have a profitable solution, product, or service to offer. Remember, what your cost is immaterial to me. It's how you can solve my problem. I'm not going to get into this a lot of detail because there's a lot there, but I do have, how to, you really do need to pick up the book or take the coaching or just stick around and watch more of these videos. I cover this, go back and look at my blog search. I cover a lot of ways to make sure that you look at pricing differently and that pricing is much more elastic. Like, I do no hourly billing, almost none. CPAs and attorneys do hourly billing 100%. I don't. I do what's called value billing. What is it? What's the value to the customer? All right. I have tax returns that are commodities. I can't bill much more than what the competition's going to do. But if I'm doing tax planning and I save you $750,000, $500,000, $50,000, what's that worth? What can I charge? And I've been doing it so long, should I charge an hourly fee? Well, I could, but I'd be gypping myself. It's a matter of what is it worth. All right. So, and then focusing on what's important. So, look, this brings me back to where I mentioned that businesses seem to be doing either very well or very poorly during this COVID thing. What I've seen from a lot of my business owners is that they were rocking along good in January, February, March, started to drop, and then April it cratered. Then May came back up to March, and then basically June, July, and August, they're starting to go again. Every business is different, but what it came down to is businesses adapted. All right, so you need to too. If you aren't doing as well as you think you do, this is 5 areas that you should start with. And I'll be honest, I know I'm plugging my own book, but I put this together on purpose to help my clients. I've been saying I was going to write a book forever, and I just never got around to it until this COVID thing hit, and I knew a lot of businesses were going to need it. And really in there, I'm doing 3 things in that book, helping you find more cash to make sure you can stay alive, helping you increase that, it's in the subtitle, gain your independence from reduced cash flow, shrinking margins, and evaporating customer base. So I'm talking about how to increase sales without a lot of advertising. I'm talking about how to increase your profit margins so you're making more money every time you sell. And part of it is increasing your pricing. Look, I covered a lot here, and I'm going to do just a word. Instead of doing it 3 to 5 times a week, I'm probably going to take one subject and do a better job on it, once a week, probably. I really do need to put that on hold. Hey, until next time, this is Wayne Blau saying, let's make this our most profitable year ever. Thank you very much.